here, that there, make this bigger here. Do that. Good morning, and good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Happy Tuesday. It feels like a Monday, but it's a Tuesday. Good morning, Omar, Brian, Ivano, Glenn, Timothy, Heather. Moondog is in the house. Gustavo, good morning, Gustavo. I hope you and Adobe had a nice rest. Tom, Rosalind, David, Darren, Armulfo. Yeah, let's make some money. Murray, good morning, Murray. Happy to see you here. Hope you had a nice weekend. Thank you for that email yesterday. I appreciated it. Pauline, Steve, the sassy trainer, Pia de Brock, Netherlands. Hello from Netherlands, Mr. Pia de Brock. Hopefully I got your name right. Wow, all the way from Netherlands, folks. Walter, Dave, Eagle Beagles in the house. John, Stacy, Art, Blair, Don, Mark, Daniel, Devin, Dollar Bill, Dollar Bill. Eduardo, good morning. Ooh, 10 degrees. It was so cold yesterday. It was very, very cold. My wife says it's a little warmer today, but it was very, very cold yesterday. We got Richard from Ponte Gorda, Dave, Jeff, Chris, Cam. Good morning, Cam. I hope you had a nice weekend. I hope you and your wife cooked up something delicious. We got Heather. We got Omar, Roddy. Good morning, Roddy. How are you? Haven't heard from you in a while. Haven't seen any emails from you lately. I hope you're good. Colleen, CJ, Dave, Terrence, Peter. Good morning, Peter. Steven, Wayne, Angie. Good morning, Angie. We did. Thank you. Snowed here in San Antonio. I love that city. Snowed in San Antonio. That does not sound right. I'll tell you. Duzzy, Wayne, Sydney, Delroy, Patrick, Melvin, Tom. You guys, I don't know how you guys do it with this cold weather. I honestly don't. Way, 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 way too cold for me. Ed, Angie, it's 8 here in the middle Tennessee. We have frozen condensation inside the kitchen window. Oh, my. Wow, negative 20 Colorado. Henry, good morning. Stacy. Obina, Don. We'll be starting in just a minute, folks. I usually give the room a few minutes to fill up. I'll wait till we have about 200 people here. It should take maybe another 30 seconds or so. Usually I give it about 5 minutes. I hope everyone had a nice weekend. Good morning, Dr. Serena. See, we were all waiting for you, my actuary. Mahmoud. Hello, Mahmoud. How are you from UK? Thomas, 11 degrees in Virginia. Geez, how do you do it, Steve? 6 in Jersey. Oh, yeah. Joe, good morning. Oh, God. Mexico, nice and warm. John, Vertuvian. Houston is frozen. I never thought I would see Houston frozen. Very hard to believe, you know. Hey, Rich, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning, Rich. All right, let's begin. Hopefully we'll get more people coming in as the day begins, as the day continues. So a few things before we start. Waking up, we've got the NASDAQ up about 100 points and the Dow's up over almost 200 points. This is beyond random. This is good. I like this. This is positive so far, although global markets were a little overnight. A few things I wanted to get off my chest, literally get off my chest. I posted this for you over the weekend. I didn't know what to do with myself yesterday. I had so much time. I decided to do a little write-up. If you guys haven't gotten this yet, here is a write-up. These are all the biggest fundamental threats and opportunities this week. And here is all the earnings with their expected moves, okay? And the expected move is based on implied volatility. And if you want to know how this is figured out, I'll be talking about that today in the VIP room, okay? Here is all the earnings. These are the biggest earnings that are coming out this week and their expected volatility, okay? What does that mean? That means Johnson & Johnson is expected to move 2.6% either up or down. This doesn't tell you where it's going to move. This tells you the potential move. So if you can get an add the money strangle, excuse me, for actually it will be a straddle, not a strangle. If you can get an add the money straddle for less than this, then you're actually doing better than what's expected. So again, I'll talk about this today in the VIP room. And if you guys want the link for the VIP room, here is the link for the VIP room. It's happening at noon today. This is that. Here's the link for the VIP room. At 1 o'clock, I'm going to have a very special income class. It's going to be an income class. We haven't done an income class this year yet. It'll help you target extra income week in and week out. That'll be today. That'll be a class that I'll be doing at 1 p.m. today. It'll be really, really cool. So again, here's the link for the earnings. Okay. Here's the link for what I sent you yesterday. Here's the link for what I sent you yesterday. And here's the link for my VIP room, where we'll be breaking down implied volatility today. Good morning, Rochelle. Hope you're doing well. I posted it all, Art. I posted it. And last but not least, let me get you a link for Customer Service Live. 1 second. Let me get that right now for you. Raleigh, why do I call you Raleigh? Cam, if you don't mind, can you repost it, because you and I chat and I want to bring it up here without having to scroll. Just post it on our chat. Thank you, sir. Okay, here it is for you. And I hope everybody takes advantage of Customer Service Live. It's one of the most important things you could do to make sure you're on the same page as I am. Okay, so as I mentioned before, stocks are doing pretty good this morning. I'm not loving the overnight markets, but I do like what I'm seeing. One of the biggest red flags, and I'll get to this right now, is if you look at the bond market on a 5-minute basis, this is the only thing that's bothering me. If you look at the bond market on a 5-minute basis, we basically gapped up and then we've been going down. So as long as this stays up and doesn't break this low, we should be okay. If we start breaking this low, and I'll go over this later, and that low is roughly 85.50. If we start breaking below, 87.50 on the TLT, it's not going to get pretty. Right now we're at 87.75. That number is 87.56, 87.50. I think it's actually 87.57. We want to stay above 87.57 on the long bond today, okay? Which is not very far from where it is, but my point is it gapped up, but it's not going anywhere. And I'm hoping we get some directional bias today, unlike last week, okay? Oh my, Rochelle, you got your phone fixed. Look at you. All right, so let's talk about all the potential threats and opportunities, talk about overnight data, and then I'll get into the technicals and fundamentals with everything. I thought it'd be best if we start with this, because we get too deep in before doing through this. Treasury yields fell. That's what I was just talking about. We had a gap up after cash trading resumed, with investors digesting Donald Trump return to the White House. Be careful, because global markets were not that hot and heavy, which is a big red flag. Also, we have a fragmented week, and today is Tuesday. Remember that. We have a fragmented week, and today is Tuesday. Waiting economic data, corporate earnings report. Treasury yield dropped Tuesday, followed his inauguration speech with the lack of immediate imposing of broad tariffs. I told you 2 months ago, everybody's focused on this tariff business. Everybody said I was out of my mind. I don't think anybody's telling me that now. Remember, you're anti-Trump, you're not political, you're da, da, da. And now, yes, tariffs, folks. Here we are, and tariffs are a big issue. Easing investors' concern about quick inflation. At the same time, dollar initially dropped lower. We'll talk about that, but later surged after President Trump threatened to impose tariffs again on Canada and Mexico as soon as February 1st. He keeps going back and forth. My suggestion, folks, seriously, my suggestion when it comes to Donald Trump is don't listen to anything he says and listen to things that he does, because he likes to go back and forth, as a lot of politicians do. So, I mean, he's been going back and forth on this tariff things now for let's just focus on what he does. NASDAQ surged to a 1.5 week high, and blue chips posted a 1 month high. Remember, I told you on Friday that blue chips are starting to see more accumulation than the mega caps. That's actually a really good sign for the broad market because the mega caps can't drive price. And we'll talk about that technically, but that's a good sign. The fact that the Dow is posting a 1 month high and tech is posting a 1.5 week high. That's good. That's really, really good. You want broad markets going higher, not technology going higher. Intel surged 9%, gave us a nice boost on Friday. Chips did really well. Marvel climbed, Cuervo climbed, GFS climbed. Um, Chips really gave us a nice boost on Friday. Transport services did not. They were the weakest on Friday and the exchange. That's blue chips. It's kind of interesting that Dow posted a 1 month high, but the strongest sector was chip stocks. But Nasdaq only mustered a 1.5 week high, which illustrates how weak they've been the last couple of sessions. Gave three different speeches. Yeah, I don't. I just go by what I just go by what he does. Don't go by. If you go by what he says, you're gonna go crazy the next 4 years. He likes to change his mind often. Economic data released on Friday showed U.S. housing starts did really well, 10 month high, stronger than expected of 1.3 million. Good morning, Peter. Thank you, Dr. Serena. I appreciate that. And folks, click the thumbs up button if you haven't done so. So we had pretty good data on Friday, which actually helped the blue chips, including housing market data, which is really good. Oh boy, Cleveland President Ben Hammack said in an interview published by Wall Street Journal that we still have an inflation. Really? Wait a minute. Hold on here, folks. Hold on. We have a inflation problem, folks. Did you wait a minute? Didn't just Fed lower the rates 0.75 points over the last 2.5 months? We still have an inflation problem. Then why the are you lowering rates if we have an inflation problem? Yes, we definitely have an inflation problem. Yes, we have to be very patient regarding further rate cuts. Finally, somebody who says it the way it is without any monkey business. Yes, yes, and we got to rebuild LA. That goes without saying. I'll talk about China in a minute, Rajendran. I'll talk about that. Yes, that's new, right? We have an inflation problem. We have to be very patient. Well, let me ask you a question, Mr. Hammock. What changed in the last 2.5 months? Absolutely not one thing. U.S. futures are now pricing in a 99% chance that nothing is going to happen. I agree with that 100%. My Tim, that's cold. That's cold. And we have a lot of Fed data coming out. We're still at 7.5 increase. That has not changed. I'll take a look at a more accurate number today. I don't know if this is accurate, but we've got a lot. We've got Netflix, Johnson Johnson, American Airlines, UAL, two airline stocks. You got Verizon, Procter and Gamble. You've got technology. You've got medical. You've got transports. You got financial. You got healthcare. You got consumer. You got basic materials, and you got utilities. You've got just about everything coming out in our way. Carlos says, disappointed why you never told us. Yeah. Yeah, I never talked about inflation. Yeah, yeah. We never talked about it, Carlos. Never. Yeah, it's the first time we're talking about it for sure. Okay, now let's talk about China and let's talk about what Rajendran was talking about. Europe. Europe is down a hair. Europe is not liking what they're seeing. They're not up, okay? Big red flag for US. Cautious sentiment prevailed, with investors evaluating the initial action of Donald Trump. Healthcare financial stocks led gains. Notice technology did not. At the same time, auto stocks, which are especially vulnerable to tariffs, underperformed. The decline also followed Trump revocation of a 2021 executive order aimed at ensuring that half of all new vehicles sold in the United States by 2030 would be electric. Do you see what I'm talking about? He changes his mind all the time. And by the way, this is retarded. When this law came about, I said to you guys, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. All half the cars being electric within the next 5 years. That's insane. That's insane. Yeah, $28 for eggs at Sam's Club. Jesus Christ. All right, time for links. Folks, VIP room agenda right here at noon. Good morning, Keong. How are you? Um, we got income. I haven't done an income class this year. It'll be very cool, and I'll show you what I'm doing that's different. Yeah, soon gold prices and egg prices will be the same prices. Right. Soon you'll be buying gold eggs, Rich. And don't forget Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. And folks, today's business as usual. Markets are open. Everything's fine. Just remember, we have a fragmented period right now. Thanks for posting that, Cam. I appreciate it. Yeah, eggs are the new gold, right? You would think, right? So this is retarded. This I told you when it came out that this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why he put this executive order in, but that's pretty dumb. But I'm curious how this is impacting his relationship with Elon Musk, who he kind of dissed at the. Did you guys notice he didn't shake his hand? He kind of dissed Musk at the inauguration. At least I thought he did. Maybe I'm crazy. Uh, we should create one, Carlos. Yeah, right. We should create one. No shit. All right. So Europe is flat. Europe is not really all that excited. But I'm very happy about this executive order being revoked. I thought this was retarded. I don't know why he would put this executive order into play. He's not a. I mean, he's never been on big on solar cars. Anyways, or environment. China. Now we talked about Regendron asked about China. Now see Regendron, I know that you're not watching overnight data. You're not watching overnight data because if you were watching overnight data, then you would know that the Shanghai index did not close higher. What? What do you mean, Roger, it didn't close higher? It says right here it closed higher. No, this is not accurate. This is about 12 hours behind. Okay. So Regendron, you're in the right place, but you're looking at the wrong thing. There you go, Eagle Beagle. He gave Musk a shout out for Mars. Maybe Musk will move to Mars in the near future. So China did not rally overnight. Closed below flatline in a choppy trade today after U.S. President Trump held off implementing promised tariffs. Increases on China's imports. Tech and real estate stocks outperformed at the same time. Energy stocks lost ground after Trump indicated U.S. would increase crude production. I'm happy about that. That's deflationary. I'm very happy that Trump is going to increase crude production in the US. Very, very nice. But so China did not close higher. China closed lower, Regendron. Okay? China closed lower. Very important. Japan closed higher today after U.S. President Trump refrained from imposing new tariffs, alleviating worries about the outlook of Japanese exports. Chip and chemical stocks gained. So we got a little bit of upside from Japan. Now, nuclear stocks are climbing in pre-market. We're going to keep an eye on VST and Oklo today, right? Because energy stocks are getting a little boost. No, Regendron. No, I would be shorting. Regendron, do you come here daily? Do you ever hear me talk about China, how they're in like the biggest deep shit? Hey, folks, can you tell Regendron if he should be buying Chinese stocks or selling Chinese stocks? All right. All right. Let's come back to where we were. Apple is not giving us a little bit of love. Be careful. Apple got downgraded. Apple is about 20% of FANG exposure. This is not going to help the market today. Again, this is not going to help the market today at all. General Motors got a little boost. I like this. I like seeing this. We may see a little upside in car stocks. And by the way, Tesla is correlated to other car stocks. A lot of people think Tesla's more correlated to solar stocks, but Tesla has pretty good correlation to other car companies. Roku rose more than 1%. They got upgraded. I like Roku. I like General Motors. Walgreens slid 7%. Department of Justice sued them for alleged contribution to the opiate crisis. This will be a stock that was on our chopping block last couple of years. We may have to add it again if technicals prevail. Right. You guys are funny. Karen said, I've read that bird flu is increasing due to battered caged eggs with cheap eggs and by hurting yourself too by eating them. All right. Yeah, me too, Michael. Interesting with that. Remember, Cuervo. Now, Michael's mentioning Cuervo because I explained a while back, Cuervo makes chips for the iPad. So there is some relationship between Cuervo and Apple, even though Cuervo is a chip stock. And remember, Cuervo doesn't just do things for the iPad. Yeah. Now, I want to talk to you guys about something before we get on to our calendar. I want to talk to you guys about something very important. Now, this is something I've been meaning to tell you, and this is a public service announcement. When you see stocks like, when you see a stock like Baidu, for example, do you see it says ADR? You see it says ADR? Okay. When you see an ADR, that's basically somebody's taking shares of Baidu and cross-referencing them to a bank account that's accessible to US. And that bank account is the proxy for trades. What does all that mean in plain English? When you buy shares of Baidu or any or most Chinese stocks, basically if it has an ADR next to it, you're not really buying the stock. You're buying a guarantee across fluctuation of that stock. You don't have shares actually coming into your account. Okay. Well, what the hell does that mean? My broker guarantees it. No, your broker does not guarantee it. If Baidu goes bankrupt tomorrow, and if that account is closed by China, there's no way for you to get your money back. In other words, if you buy a bunch of these ADRs, Regeneron, and if China says F you to America, you, my friend, are screwed because your brokerage will not guarantee the deposit of that ADR. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's not just Baidu. I'm using Baidu as an example. I'm talking about any stock that's an ADR that's from China. So my point is, if you be very, very careful buying up these ADRs, because if something happens to China, if something happens to these companies, you are not going to get your money out of your US brokerage account like you think you are. But what? Well, my broker never told me that. I'm telling you that. Look it up online. You have a huge risk with these ADRs from China. One of my partners in one of my businesses, I looked at his long-term retirement account and he had 5 different ADRs. And I said, listen, my friend, if China goes busts, your ADRs are going to be as equivalent. Um, Now, let me give you an example for somebody who doesn't understand what I'm saying, so you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm going to explain this in plain English. Chairman of the Central Party owns the magic golden share in every company that's based in China, and he can choose to buy the company shares anytime he wants, and he gets to set the price. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to give you a good example. I'm going to give you a really good eye awakening example right now, okay? My mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, who was a big shot in the oil industry till she retired, she has a really good friend who's still working in the oil industry. She's a big shot. She's worth tens of millions of dollars, okay? Listen carefully to what Uncle Roger's telling you. You guys may not have this perspective. Over the last 15 years, she was buying up a bunch of condominiums in Moscow. Yeah, ooh, yes, and in Ukraine. Yes, and she was making a shitload of money. I'm not going to mention her by her name. And she was making a lot of money. And her net worth quadrupled over the last 15 years. And she kept telling my mother-in-law to tell me to get in on it. And I was saying, no, 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 no. And then the war broke out between Ukraine and Russia. And you know what happened to all of that real estate that she owned? Bye bye. It ain't hers anymore. The government took it from hers. And she's never going to get it back. If you buy these ADR stocks, you're buying real estate in Russia and Ukraine right now. And if this stock goes belly up, or if there's a little hiccup between USA and China, you ain't never gonna see your money. But infidelity tells me you ain't never gonna see your money. Bye bye. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Can we move on? Is this helpful? And does everybody understand exactly what I'm saying right now? Good. Thank you. Good. Let's move on. Please don't be foolish and start putting real money into these companies. Do you understand, Regendron, what Uncle Roger just told you? Listen to what Graham Oldfield just said above. They're not doing good. I'm telling you this based on experience. I've seen people lose a lot of money doing this. Don't do it. Don't think you're smarter than everybody else. You're not, okay? Okay, good. Yeah. I'm just being honest with you. I'm telling you the truth. I don't get paid for telling you this. And I don't get paid for spreading rumors, and I have no political agenda. Okay? Yeah, Baidu, yeah, Baidong, exactly. Yeah. Sure, you could short term, you could do all sorts of stuff. I'm just letting you know what your real risk is. Your risk is that you can wake up one day and Baidu can pull up bye bye on you. Baidu will put a bye bye on you. Okay. All right. So let's talk technicals now. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not breaking above Friday's high as of yet. We're inside Friday's range. That's a big red flag for tech stocks because, as I mentioned to you, the Bitcoin is becoming very correlated with technology stocks. No, it's not, Roger. It's doing its own thing. Okay, if you insist, let me show you again. That's the SPY. That's Bitcoin. Forget, folks, I'm going to open up America for you again for the second time today. I'm going to give you a flash warning. Bitcoin is now highly correlated with the US stock market. When you're buying Bitcoin, you're not buying an isolated asset. You're buying something that's very correlated to the technology sector, which means you're doing exactly what I'm telling you not to do by buying Bitcoin and your favorite tech stocks. What do you mean? Bitcoin is on its own. Not anymore, it's not. Highly correlated to the stock market. Look for yourself. Tell me I'm crazy. Look. That's the US stock market. That's Bitcoin. It's doing exactly the same thing. Look, declining flag, breakout, it's identical. So that correlation that you thought you had with Bitcoin, you don't have it anymore. Sorry, you're over leveraging yourself. How many of you are doing that right now? Probably 50% of the people that are watching me right now. Don't do it. You're only going to hurt yourself. All right. So Bitcoin, I want to see Bitcoin above previous high, which would put us at 84.11 on the GBDC. I want to take this out. If we can't take this out, and if we start breaking down, it's not going to be good. Also, you're going to want to pay very crucial attention to the first half hour of the day today, because I think what's going to happen is the stock market's going to huff and puff, but I want to see what happens after it huffs and puffs. I want to see if there's any follow through. It's going to gap up nicely today, but I want to see if it starts filling that gap. What have we been seeing for the last several sessions? We've been seeing a gap up, and then the remaining day it just consolidates, and then sometimes at the end it just comes up, or sometimes it just comes down. But we have not been seeing any intraday trading action. We've been seeing a gap and just consolidate, gap and consolidate the entire day. I'm only talking about BTC, but I would imagine their correlation is extremely high. Yeah, take profits from Friday's trades this morning. I mean, I like what I'm seeing here, but I don't trust this market, especially the fact that we have a fragmented week, we have earnings, and we have and overnight markets did not respond in Europe and Asia as much as I would like them after, especially after Trump said no tariffs. So bond market. Now this I like. Now we're breaking higher. I like this. I like what I'm seeing here. This is bullish. This is bullish. The problem is we have a lot of resistance here, so we may continue moving higher. Now, if we break down right now, we did not break an uptrend. In order for us to break a downtrend, we have to go all the way up here to 91. So we have a long ways up, and we're still going to be in a downtrend. But keep your eye on the bond market today, especially on the 5 minute basis, and see if we start filling this gap. This gap is about 87.50 ish, mid 50s. This, you want to see if the bond market breaks down and starts filling in this gap. We have 2 points of support here. You have 2 points of support here already. You've already bounced once. Let's see if we bounce again. And I'm pretty sure we're going to just come around here. We're going to fart around here. And then we'll see if we break this and come back down. If we don't break this down, the odds are the US stock market will see see a little upside as a result of this going up. But if we see this breaking down, all bets are off. So I'm letting you right now. Kevin, I hope that you learn something new here every single day that you're here. So I hope that I hope that I don't see this. I hope I don't see the long bond at 87.50, because if it starts getting into this gap, it'll put the SPY, because there's a 0.73 correlation right now. It'll put the SPY exactly in this gap too. See, look how the SPY looks right now, right? Intraday. See that? See, look, just like the bond market. Look at the bond market now. See that gap? So if this breaks, the SPY will break as well. So again, keep your eye on the relationship between the bond market on a 5 minute and, the most importantly, I don't really care what it does. I care about it breaking the low today. That's really what I care about, breaking the low. Also, if it opens up and then starts going higher after a half hour, that's a good sign too. I don't really care about the first half hour. I care about after the first half hour. Okay. Let me see what time it is. All right. I don't want to be late for work. I've been late for work every single day. Every single day. US dollar. This is what we were talking about. It had a little bit of a gyration after Trump got elected. It went down, and then it went right up above the 8-day EMA, and then again it went down, but now it's up. But the bond market is strong this morning, as you could see right here. The bond market is strong this morning. If the bond market is strong, it's going to put some pressure on the US dollar. We already know that there's nothing new here. And it's going to relieve some pressure from the gold market, which is only down 0.24 right now. You see it's holding on near the highs. So if you continue seeing bonds move higher, you will see the US dollar break the 50-day moving average, which I'm not seeing as of yet. And you will see gold above our buy level, and then T-Buzz will be right again about gold coming up. Remember what T-Buzz says? He expects gold to come up, but slowly. So he may be right if we continue going higher on the bond market. Now, to take some happiness out of you, just so you know, look at the bond market the last several months, and we don't have any fundamental changes, and everything Trump is talking about is inflationary. All of those things he wants to do are inflationary initially. You can't. It's like, you got to spend before you benefit from something. So, look, this can come all the way up here and still be bearish. So keep an eye very closely on the US dollar and the gold market, okay? Crude oil. Trump said and I believe him on this one, by the way, and we could definitely make our own oil. By the way, remember what happened? I showed you this chart. I showed you I showed you how much we ate 80. We have a lot of resistance at 80, and we went right to 80. And what happened? Broke right back down. So weakness for energies. Now we're not going to be looking at strong energy stocks anymore. We're going to be looking at the weakest energy stocks now again. Brian says, isn't this working? Blair, what are you talking about, Blair? It's not Brian, Blair. Tell us what you were talking about. All right. And we already talked about China. China is like right here at the election VWAP level. I'm not seeing anything from China. And if anything, they're at the mercy of Trump, and he's enjoying the hell out of it right now. All right. What about volatility? Let's look at volatility. That's another major factor we have to look at today. Volatility is only down 1.4%, which is not a lot. Volatility is being very cautious today. As you can see, volatility is coming down. We're almost at the 15 level. Now, if we break this 15 level, we can start really cooling off. But if you see a spiking all of a sudden and breaking above 16 and a half, big warning sign. I mean, I like what I'm seeing right now. This is really nice. What I'm hoping is it doesn't start spiking above 16 and a half. Okay? We don't want to see a spike above 15 and a half going higher. We really don't want to see that. All right. So everybody's in a wait and see mode right now. Momentum levels are slightly better. Remember, we went to a bear market last week. We're out of it now. We're at 54%. But 50-day momentum is not looking good at all, and it hasn't really improved all that much. So longer term, we're looking better. Shorter term, we're not looking all that much better. In terms of market performance, right here, you could see 50-day moving average, almost everything is red here. And energy will soon become red because we're going to start making more production, he says. And I actually believe him on that. 58% are trading above on the SPY, above the 200, but only 40. So our longer term foundation is getting better, but our short term could improve. Longer term, we're looking good. Shorter term, we're not looking all that great, which is one of the reasons why I think we could see some upside in the next couple of days if we continue. And I'll talk about technicals. As far as the broad market, you could see right here, Russell 2000, 1000, 3000. Not a lot of stocks are trading above the 50-day moving average. But we do have some stability, a little stability over the 200. Wayne says, what would you recommend for Mexico now? They're going to put 24 Mexican stocks that are breaking down, and I'm probably going to have a couple today in my VIP room, Wayne, and you should pay attention to them, and I'll give you some. And by the way, I've been giving you guys Mexican stocks to short now for 3 months straight, like FMX, things like that, and they've been going straight down. And by the way, I also told you here on this show, the day that President Trump got elected, that we're going to see tariffs, and I almost got cursed out. Do you guys still think we're not going to have any tariffs? Does anybody think tariffs is not a financial issue that we need to be aware of? Because when I told exactly the same thing to you 2.5 months ago, you guys almost cursed me out and sent me to hell. NASDAQ 100, NASDAQ Composite. Same thing, same thing. We have a lot of vulnerability in the short term, which is why I'm not trusting this market. I'd like to see everything above the 50-day moving average. So in the long term, we're getting a lot better, a little better. In the short term, we have a lot more vulnerability. Yeah, pipeline stocks may benefit March. Yes, I would. So let me post my links again. I'll post my links again. I will be in my VIP room today talking about a lot of stocks. By the way, did you guys watch my video from Friday in the VIP room? I posted it over the weekend twice of how to identify a good stock. If you guys have not watched that video, you're doing yourself a major disservice because that video really breaks down for you how to find how to. If you can't find, I'm going to tell you this in case you guys missed it. I'm going to tell you guys something. You could be the best technical indicator analyst in the world. But if you can't find a good stock, all of your technical analysis is worthless. Similarly, you could have the worst technical analysis abilities in the world. But if you know how to find the best stock, your technical analysis is not going to you're not going to need your technical analysis skills very much for technical indicators. The stock that you pick, it's like the 80-20 principle, okay? It's like the 80-20 principle. 80% of the battle is finding the right asset. If you don't have the right asset, you're going to have to work much harder. Your technical analysis tools are going to have to do a lot more work. You're going to have to be much better at market timing. Okay? Take a look at the Japanese yen from 30 years ago and ask yourself, why was this the easiest asset to trade? Why could you trade it with any stupid technical indicator, even a moving average or an RSI? Because it moved like this, not like this. It glided like this. It flew, didn't do this. Okay? If you can't tell the difference between a good stock and a crappy stock, game over. You need to identify, and 90% of you don't know how to do it right. It will take your trading accuracy from 65% to 80, 85% if you know how to do that single thing. Watch the stupid video. I didn't charge you a penny for it. All right? The room on Friday was great as we could see what is good or bad stock to trade. That was a symbol for the Mexican market index. I'll talk about that today at noon. Good, good, good. Yeah, FMX. So momentum is stabilizing. It's stabilizing. What about market internals? What about sectors? By the way, since I didn't have much to do yesterday, I went ahead and reorganized my stock fetcher, the bottom part, to be very, very intuitive and easy to read. This is still like grams and all of my old stuff, but starting from right here, from 21 all the way down, those are the ones that I use right here. From 21 to 38. Those are the ones I use daily right here. From right here all the way down. So let's look at sector strength weekly. See, this is what I do on my holiday. I organize my stuff. So Bitcoin is still leading. Bitcoin is leading, which is good. That means because I believe Bitcoin has been outperforming tech and leading tech by a day or two. I can't prove it yet, but I think I will. But I like the fact that it's leading. The problem is, look where the QQQ is, look where technology is, look where communication services is, look where retail is. So aside from Bitcoin, I'm not really seeing anything in the technology sector getting really uh, uppity. Very little, James, mostly in insurance stocks over the next couple of years. Utility and insurance stocks, James, over the next couple of years. I think there's going to be a major insurance reform because of California, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. We still haven't assessed damage. It's still too early. I don't think the market is pricing that in right now outside of utilities and insurance companies. I think we have to wait for that. But let me continue with this. Point is, you got a lot of blue chips here. You got interest rate sensitive mixed with technology here. So you have a little bit of clarity for Dow stocks, which is, and notice the Dow has been making higher highs, which is RSP, equal weighted blue chips, equal weighted stocks. So I'm hoping that we'll continue seeing broader market stocks move up at the expense of the technology mega caps. I'm not going to get too excited if I see mags make a 52-week high today, but I'm going to, which they're not, but I'm going to get very excited if RSP goes up. Now, let me show you what I mean. So here's mags, okay? Here's the mega caps. And you could see they're only up 0.56, but they're breaking out of this area here, which is really good. And we have resistance here, but till then we need to see this higher, but I like what I'm seeing. Now look at RSP. See how RSP is already coming up to the 50-day moving average? If the RSP breaks above the 50-day moving average, we have some really good clearance here. So you're going to keep an eye on RSP. Promise me, you're going to keep an eye on RSP, right? Let me post some links here. VIP link. I forgot to post these links. That's VIP room at noon. Here's my income class, my first income class this year with some special announcements. Going to get more aggressive there. Here is customer service live. Here's that, and I'll continue right now. Okay. So we need to break the 50-day. If we can't break the 50-day moving average on RSP, you're not going to get a lot of upside from the broad market. Dow Jones, we need to make sure we already broke it, but we need to this morning, but we need to make sure this doesn't fade and come right back down. If this fades and come back down, it's not going to be pretty. But I do like what I'm seeing right now, and I like to see technically right now too. Can I propose the earnings links? Yes, I can. Here you go. Here you go, Stacy. And folks, if you haven't clicked the thumbs up button, please do. I would appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you. Let's see how many we got now. Let's see. I just updated my page. 165 and we got 545. Hit the thumbs up, folks. It doesn't cost you anything. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job today. Hope so. So where's my chart? Where's my chart? Where's my chart? So QQQ. Let me see what's going on with QQQ. QQQ, we're already above that level. So we want to make sure that this bar continues breaking out, continues breaking out. We want to make sure on the Dow, this continues breaking up. This right here goes up and not comes down back into its base, which means we need some real strong activity this morning. Okay? All right. Just RSP, as I mentioned again, I'm just going to quickly go through this again. We need to make sure we break through this and we don't pause here. Okay? And QQQ, same thing. So we're looking for the bond market and we're looking for everything else to continue moving higher. Okay? We're looking for everything to move higher. We want the Dow to move higher. We don't want to end up back into this range, okay? It's at 1 o'clock, Korea. Here's the link for that. It's happening at 1 p.m. Don't miss out. Right after my VIP room. It'll be real, real cool. Eastern time, of course. Here, show you how to cut through all the BS. So we want to see the 50-day moving average become the new support level on all the major indices, on the Dow, on the QQQ. We want this to hold. We want this to hold. We want this to hold. We don't want this to come right back down and touch this area. Okay? That's what we want to see today on good volume too. So hopefully we will see that. Remember, this is just pre-opening. The market can open up in here, so we want to make sure this holds. Let's look at Russell, which I don't like right now. Russell needs to get above the 50-day, and it's lagging right now. Okay? Really, really, really important. And as I mentioned to you, Bitcoin is leading, but then we have blue chips and then a mix between technology and interest rates, with retail being in the last spot, consumer staples and healthcare all being down here. Okay. And technology is not really driving. So this week may be different, but remember, we have a fragmented week. We have a lot of earnings and we have a new Fed policy coming in. All right. Let me give you stocks that I like. Okay. And I got to get out of here. I'm going to try to get out of here a little earlier today. I'm sure you guys understand. I want to be there at the open. That's what it is. DYN for the short side. Potential A-line right here. By the way, A-line state is still undefeated. A little choppier than I like. A little choppier than I like. But, yeah, a little choppier than I'd like. That's all I'm going to say. Nike. Remember, retail and consumer staples are not doing great. Nike. Gambling stocks are not doing great, guys. China did not rally overnight after Trump. Look at play Dave and Buster's. When? Now look at this stock. Look, no chop. Look how clear it is. Clean. Look how clean this move is right here. That's the kind of stocks you want. Clean moving stocks. BIIB. Clean moving stocks. Not a lot of back and forth. Clean moving stocks. Do you guys see what clean moving stocks are? We're getting into a CAL, clean moving stocks. We're getting into much, much more nuanced analysis method. That's not for beginners. Most beginners can't tell the difference between a choppy stock and a moving stock. Gives you guys a huge edge, and it doesn't cost you anything. Okay, those are the shorts. Let me give you longs. It was easy to find shorts, by the way, compared to longs today. Still have a lot of fragmentation on the long side. Restoration Hardware, Eat. Now, this is the first time I'm ever giving you this stock, right? Learn, nice stock. CRDO, a little choppy, but and a little overextended. A lot of these stocks are a little overextended. FFIV, that's a nice looking stock. VFC. Are you guys gaining benefit from this? Is this benefiting you? Visa, I like Visa. Cisco, nice looking stock. ET, no, that's not it. ET. Huh. Forget about that. GMED, got the wrong ticker, I guess. GMED and ALGT. Look at this one right here. This is an amazing looking stock. Look at that. All right, folks, I had a great time. Don't forget, Customer Service Live, where all the magic happens. Thank you, Roddy. Thanks. And please give me a thumbs up if you thought that this was a good class. Okay. And I will see you in the VIP room today. We're going to have a great session. I'm going to show you my favorite Trump stocks. Jacqueline says, wouldn't start my trading day without being here. Thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. And here's my 1 o'clock class. It'll be the first time I'm doing an income class, and I promise you, it'll be worth it. Even if you don't buy anything, trust me, it'll be well worth your time. I'm going to show you some cool stuff. And I'm going to teach you how to get rid of your bad habits, okay? Customer Service Live, VIP room, 1 o'clock class, and I'll see you guys later. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I'm going to head to, thank you, HG. I'm going to head to work. Oh, DJT, let's take a look at DJT. I'm curious about that too, RJ. No, not good today. Not good. That's why I'm saying, please give the market some time. We need to really make sure. We really need to make sure that this is the real breakout. And look at where we're at right now in the SPY. We're right at my first resistance level, and then we have another resistance level. So we have to make sure that we clear this area very well today. I miss talking to all of you. Well, Rochelle, you can always talk to me, darling. I didn't say anything about down today. I didn't say that, Naples fan. All right, I'll see you guys later. I said we have a lot of unknown right now. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. And feel free to email me, roger@rogerscott.com. No customer service emails. Please. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Remember, it's a fragmented week, which means we have less momentum coming into the market, but we have earnings to offset that. Bye. And yes, Clyde will be around all day to give technical signals and indications. Bye. Oh, thank God, finally tomorrow.